with one of my favorite chapters of 2019 being animated recently. In the recent episode of One Piece, Blackbeard's appearance on Hishinosu has Teach wearing flamboyant pants, a belt instead of a sash, a new coat along with his feathered cape, and a new hat with feathers and his Jolly Roger. Blackbeard's original name, Everything D. Teach, may come from the 17th century English pirate Henry Every, famous for being the richest pirate in the world at the time and getting the highest bounty in history placed on his head, which starts to look like what Blackbeard has achieved in the short time span from Zero Berry to a Yonko. Teach has grown a long beard which is split into multiple sections very much like his real life faces. That's why his beard looks like what it is, epic looking. The crazy thing is that he looks huge compared to before. Let's talk more about the history of the real Blackbeard and of course a theory about his darkness fruit awakening. Enjoy the video. Marshall D. Teach, new appearance explained, the darkness awakening. Hi everyone, Flying Panda. Before we begin, please hit like on the video and subscribe if you haven't, and of course, please join our Discord. It is documented that, in time of action, he struck lighted matches under his hat, which appearing on each side of his face. His eyes, naturally looking fierce and wild, made him altogether such a figure that imagination cannot form an idea of a fury from hell to look more frightening. And that is the real Blackbeard. Blackbeard's epithet and his first name comes from the infamous Edward Teach, the real life Blackbeard. Edward Teach is not only the namesake of Blackbeard but also the character's former captain, Edward Newgate, and his crewmate and victim, Thatch. As Edward Teach was also referred to as Edward Thatch, this leads to my old theory that Blackbeard's next victim would be name related. Another fun information about Blackbeard was that he was killed in battle on the 22nd of November 1718 by Lieutenant Robert Maynard, an experienced officer and a gentleman of great bravery and resolution, finally killed Blackbeard in a bloody battle at the mouth of Ocracoke Inlet. Maynard and Blackbeard clashed in a sword duel which saw Blackbeard sustain more than 20 wounds. We're told though, he stood his ground and fought with great fury till he received 5 and 20 wounds, and 5 of them by shot. At length, as he was cocking another pistol, famously carried 3 pairs slung across his shoulders, having fired several before, he fell down dead, which was like how Whitebeard was murdered in Marineford. Interestingly, we have already seen Maynard in One Piece, and yes, he was a big disappointment. Now, next I want to talk about an old theory from a couple years back about Blackbeard's darkness fruit awakening. Blackbeard's darkness fruit is said to be the strongest Logia type, though this is self-proclaimed Blackbeard isn't far from the truth. Just how strong is the power of darkness? When people think of darkness, they almost immediately think of light. That's because living forms grow within the light, seek and evolve from it. Light is its main source of life. It has the power to radiate energy which fuels the source of our food and even our food's food. This is all stimulates from our sun. Our is ours. Main source of light is the source of heat which we need and what gives all living things the energy to grow on our planet. With all this in mind, wouldn't the power of the light devil fruit or even the flare be considered the most powerful of the Logia types? Truth be told, they are undoubtedly strong but pale in comparison to the power of darkness. We as people who seek the light have grown to believe that light beats darkness as light shines through the dark. But light is a limited energy source. Ask yourself, what if all the lights go out? What would happen? We would be in a state of total darkness. Darkness has for many centuries been considered evil as opposed to light being good. Darkness has no such nature about that. That is to say, it doesn't have an evil nature. Darkness is the oldest form of matter that we know of. It is what life was created from and make up the most part of the known universe. When you look at the night sky, what you see is a black canvas littered by spots of light. Try to imagine each of them lights going out one at a time, with the end result of our own sun burning out and becoming what known as a dwarf star. What will we be left with? Complete and total darkness. The idea of this alone gives you an idea of the depth of the darkness as opposed to the light. Light might shine in the darkness, but light is limited, whereas darkness has no such limit. The same is true for the darkness devil fruit. Blackbeard wasn't kidding when he said it was the strongest. And its power is limitless. Blackbeard has become in a sense the oldest of known matter. To give it a name, it refers to the Greek myth of the being Chaos. Chaos was said to be the first being to come into existence, a being that is darkness and is what we know as the universe. It is said that all of life and creation is born from chaos and is the oldest of all what we know. From a scientific point of view, the known universe is made up from what called dark matter and dark energy, as well as other forms of matter. So if the darkness theory is based on the universe and the components made up of, then Blackbeard truly is the strongest. His body is literally space, meaning there is a number of possibilities to almost unlimited levels to his power. Spacetime in physics. Spacetime is a mathematical model that fuses the three-dimensional space and the one-dimensional time into a single four-dimensional continuum. Now, if we take into account that there are three types of devil fruit, and it's wise to speculate that Blackbeard has three or will have three, then this can explain the three dimensions, which means three devil fruits. But what about the fourth dimension? I believe that the fourth dimension is the body, and as has been stated, Blackbeard has a weird body which implies it's different from other humans. This means Blackbeard is the only person who could hold three devil fruits within himself. That is to say, if someone else had gained the darkness devil fruit and tried to eat more than one, they would die like everyone else. The question is, what makes Blackbeard different from everyone else? Many theories have covered this very subject and myself have tried in the past. Now thanks to the painstaking research, I believe I may have the final answer. Taking into account what Marcus says, it's known that Blackbeard is not a normal human, but what Luffy and Zoro said is the key clue. It's not him, it's them, probably. This statement has been at the core of every Blackbeard theory regarding his powers, as the comment suggests he may be more than one person. You're not saying he has a twin or a parasitic twin of some sort. No, my idea is more in depth than that. It's a question of his age. How old is he? He seems to be around 40 years old, but what if he's much older? What if he lived more than once? That people who have had the immortal surgery done on them by the Opi-Opi-no-Mi fruit still grow old and age but retain the strengths. But is that what happened to Blackbeard? In my personal opinion, no, I don't believe Blackbeard has had immortal surgery done to him. There's little evidence to support the idea, and even if he had, what would be the point? The idea I have is connected to the darkness devil fruit power. There's a secret power within it known only to the user, and it comes back to space-time. Now we know that space-time is, but what could happen if a person had learned and mastered time and space? He will virtually be a god. Let's speculate for a moment here and say Blackbeard was around 1000 years old. Sounds crazy, right? But hear me out. We have been under the assumption that Blackbeard isn't a true D due to his fear of death, but this could be false. In other words, he is a D, but he knows something. A D doesn't fear death, they die with a smile, as shown by every D we have seen to date. But let's assume for a moment that Blackbeard has already died and came back from the dead. he would then have the reason to fear death, as he has experienced the pain and suffering which has over time grown into fear. The reason I mentioned 1000 years ago is because I myself, and I feel our theories have spoken in the past of characters having past lives that dates back to that time. Other reasons for believing Blackbeard was around 1000 years ago and is related to the 5 Elder Stars. Again, it's speculated that the 5 are immortal and have been around since the beginning, so why not Blackbeard? I've already thought Blackbeard is the devil's story, which is, if that's the case, then he may be connected to the 5. It's an interesting name, right? 5 Elder Stars. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. This theory was written by a legendary anime a couple years back. I hope you like science in your theories. Other than that, please leave comments down below, please click like, and if you haven't, please subscribe to Flying Panda and join our Discord. I'll see you guys soon.